Are the rogue synthetics in Star Trek Picard made from Lore, Data's evil brother? Welcome to Awesomesauce. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so don't miss our upcoming videos. To level the playing field for my theory, I need to make an assumption first. Maddox created the rogue synthetics not long after Star Trek Nemesis, probably 15 years ago from the perspective of Star Trek Picard, or even a bit further in the past as the synthetics attacked the almost fully built rescue fleet which was meant to aid in the evacuation of the Romulan homeworld. So the most important questions are: to which androids had Maddox access to at the time to research on or use them as the basis for his synthetics? Where did we last saw Lore? Is it possible that Maddox or the Daystrom Institute got their hands on him, and why would Maddox create the synthetics from Lore and not from Data, B4 or Data's proverbial mother, which was also a Sung type android but didn't know she was one? Evidently we can exclude B4 as it was stated in Star Trek Picard, of which you can watch my review under the upper right corner, that he was an inferior model that couldn't even hold Data's programming. The next question is how many advanced Sung type androids are out there from whom Maddox could have derived the rogue synthetics. First we have the remaining Data's programming that didn't degrade yet in B4, but I would exclude this possibility as it would imagine that Maddox wasn't capable of reconstructing Data's positronic brain from the leftover Data 15 years or so ago, when he builds the first synthetics that went rogue and destroyed Mars and the humanitarian fleet. The second option is Data's proverbial mother, of which we learn in the TNG 7th episode Inheritance, but the fact that she is an android was kept hidden from her and the information stayed just with Data, Geordi, Dr. Crusher, Captain Picard and Deanna Troi. I would assume that Data didn't share this information with Maddox to protect her. If we can exclude all the options, we got to the last one that is plausible from the technical standpoint and the rules set by Star Trek Picard. The only option left is Lore. But where did we last saw Lore? Star Trek Next Generation. The last time we saw Lore was in the Next Generation episode Destined Part 2, where he directed his Borg followers to launch attacks on targets in Federation space. Sounds rather familiar in retrospect of Picard episode 1. The purpose of these attacks was to lure the Enterprise D and Data in an elaborate attempt to use the emotion chip to manipulate Data to his side. Lore had modified the chip so that it could remotely instill anger and hatred in Data. Confused with his new emotions and his ethical subroutines deactivated, Data betrayed the crew of the Enterprise D and joined Lore at his base. At the end of the episode, Geordi and Captain Picard managed to activate Data's ethical subroutines, and he subsequently turned on Lore, who ended up being shot from Data with a phaser, and as Lore was stunned, Data deactivated him. His famous last words were, "I love you, brother." After that they dismantled Lore and probably stuck him in a drawer like before. From this a couple of questions arise. How did Maddox get his hands on Lore, and why didn't he download Data's consciousness into Lore's positronic brain? We know Lore was as developed as Data, maybe even a little further. What is your theory? Could have Maddox get his hands on Lore, or did you subscribe yet? Don't forget to click the bell so you don't miss my upcoming videos. Thank you for watching. I see you in the next one.